And welcome to Game Over Yeah, the video game podcast created by gamers for gamers, with your hosts, Leon.
Dave.
Dave it himself!
And from Living Dream Entertainment to talk about their 2D open world game, Out of the Storm, Dakota Barrett.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm actually really visible, as you can see.
You are.
Visible.
You've got a very nice webcam now. It's not like you're like an oil painting in the background with your fucking dated webcam before.
You could,
but yeah, so
you can see more of my fuzzy mess. And it's not just.
It's a pleasure to see that fuzzy mess.
It is indeed. It is indeed. How about you, Mike? How you doing?
He's back, isn't he?
He is. With the connect as well. He's back. Shit! The alcohol is out. That means the drunken stag beetle will be joining us tonight.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun time.
Always a fun time.
When the drunken stag beetle.
Also, I like
out.
the fact that both myself, Dakota, and Leon are rocking the plain white background, and Mike's gone for some sort of floral arrangement.
Bedroom, mate.
It is fabulous, darling. Yeah.
I love flowers. I love flowers.
Mike is secretly a hippie.
It's because like this room was like turned into a spare bedroom, so it became like very feminine when I left. And I'm back.
And you made it even more effeminate.
That's right.
Brilliant. And how about you, Dakota, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm like 8 hours behind you guys, but yeah, the day's just kind of started for the most part.
Awesome. You got.
Whereabouts are you based?
There you go.
Oh, Southern California, United States.
Oh, but the weather's really nice.
It is. It is. It was like 70 all winter.
That's not winter. That's far too warm for
No,
winter.
we don't
Today's
have
probably like 75 for us or 70, and I was like, yeah, it's a nice day. I might spend some time outside.
No, it's like spring or summer all day long here. Well, it's like a desert where I'm at, so.
A couple of camels start walking past.
Yeah, the only trees here are the ones that we planted. Yeah. Otherwise, it'd just be dirt. So.
Fair enough, man. So, I mean, how did you kind of get started in developing a game, Dakota?
Well, I graduated high school and I had no idea what to do. So
That sounds like everybody.
Yeah, so I was just I was working a day job that sucked. So I was trying to find something more entertaining to do.
Yeah.
Started out. I was going to write a book. Got bored with that. I wanted.
No, stop. I want to know what the book idea was right now. Like, come on, pitch it. Pitch the book idea right now.
Basically, unreligious guy doesn't believe in heaven. Then he dies and he goes to heaven and he's ticked. And he kind of like kind of fights the system while he's up there and gets sent to hell and has to do all that crap. Kind of what do you call it? Dante's Inferno, but modern version. It lasted about 30 pages before I moved on.
I started writing a book.
Oh yeah.
And then it was about like this group of people. They had a mission and they had to get this ring to a volcano. Then I read up a little bit and apparently it's been done before.
Yeah.
So I had to scratch that.
Well, what you could do is you could just have the eagles at the beginning of the book. And everything will be better.
Did you start writing that you got into heaven and found that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was after all and decided to stay? And then at that point you were like, well, crap.
No, I just I figured, I don't know, books are good and all, but I've read maybe 20 books. I've played 1 billion games over my life. Games are just a better medium, I think. So I wanted to do more than just write words. So I moved on. I thought I could learn some game development programs, so I got into that. Turns out what I made was crap. Thought it was great at the time, but a bunch of throwaway projects. You know, you just keep at it. Been doing that for about 2 years or so. Finally starting to get serious. This year I got a team together and we started working on Out of the Storm. So that's what we're doing now.
Excellent, man.
Awesome.
So
did you get your inspiration for the game from where you live?
No, not really. Inspiration mainly came from some movies and some games movies I'd watched and games I played. Bunch of survival stuff. Last of Us, not really survival, but that was a good game. last year. And then there's some movies like what's it called? The Long Way There or Long Way Home. It's about some guys that like escape a Nazi camp and they have to walk for thousands of miles. Anyways, so the game's kind of based on the struggle of survival. Like right now, a bunch of games like what is it? The Forest and such. They're about crafting, and it's more about if you guys have played Minecraft, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm aware of the game.
Never played it.
Oh my god, what?
Okay.
No, I've never played it. Apparently it's a year old now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, it was in beta
it's
for a
game
fucking
about
long
cubes.
time before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I played that game and I found the first few days were fun, where you had to kind of like survive and such and not be killed by all the monsters. And then after that, it just kind of like you build random stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of lost interest in it. So I wanted to focus on that feeling you had for the first few days of Minecraft, where you're trying to just stay alive. And so that's kind of how this game came about. We're just focusing on the main character's female protagonist that basically gets trapped in the woods. Big blizzard comes over, and she's not used to surviving. So you start out as this character that has no idea what they're doing, and you just gotta grow and adapt.
Awesome. Is it one of those ones that you start out with a stick and then you go off and you rub the two sticks together and then you make a fire and then you find string and then it's a bow, or do you start off with like some basic tools?
You don't really start out with a stick. The crafting isn't really a focus. I mean, there is some crafting. It's a survival game, so it's got to have something. Mm-hmm. But the main focus is on, like, say you're going out and gathering food. You got to keep that food fresh and such, so it'll spoil after a few days. You got to find ways to, like, say you find berries, to get that into jam or can it or such. Keep warm, things like that. There are tools right now. We just got some basic ones like a fishing spear and knife and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll plan on expanding that. Have you guys played the game This War of Mine?
No, I can't say I have on that one. No.
Okay. All right, so it's like it's kind of a 2D, 3D survival it's like side-scrolling, but not a platformer.
Okay.
That game focused, like, instead of having tools, I mean, you had tools and you had guns and stuff. It was based on modern day kind of surviving war, but not Call of Duty running around shooting stuff. You're just some civilian trying to not get killed.
Okay.
And that game focused more so on these things, what I believe they called like stations. Like you had a place where you made alcohol, or you had a place where you cooked your food. And that's kind of what the focus of Out of the Storm is. It's more of you have a cabin and you have places where you craft your things. It's not Minecraft where you're out in the middle of nowhere and just crafting swords and such.
So create a fridge, stick fridge, add beer.
Sorry, you cut out. What was that? I heard stick
stick
fridge.
there, yeah.
Sorry, I said you find a fridge, then you get some beer, you put it in the fridge, and then you win the game.
Yeah, that's it. You just got to collect a bunch of beer.
So
bacon, man. Bacon lasts for ages, and bacon is delicious.
There you go. Bacon and
win.
beer. Tools of survival.
Bacon and beer. Done.
I got some. So kind of what I wanted to focus on. Survival games, they don't really have much of a story to them. It's just kind of you're out on your own, make up your own story. Like Rust, and you go around.
Yeah.
And shoot other players. Anyways, this is more of a single player. There's no multiplayer planned or ever intended. Mm-hmm. And so you got to find something to talk to. So I kind of have the main character have this journal that they keep. And you don't know much, so you keep notes on different like plants and animals, try to find out what kills you, what doesn't. And let me turn things around a little bit. So the focus is on your mistakes are probably what's going to kill you the most. It's not going to be like some wolves are going to show up and kill you. Mm-hmm. It's more so like if you just go around eating random berries because your character's hungry, you're going to end up dead. So you gotta
we'll get really high.
Or that, yeah.
Learn not to eat the green berries.
So the game is more of a focus on this kind of journal aspect. So you're taking notes, you're trying to figure out what killed or not killed you, but what you can and cannot eat. Mm-hmm. And just these struggles the character goes through as you try to outlast the storm. And that's basically the end goal, just make it till the storm's over.
So you have a supernatural notebook that when you die, you write in it saying that mushroom was bad, so that when you revive again, you suddenly come across this notebook that it's something you wrote when you died, and then thus you know not to eat it.
Okay, no, so it's not the supernatural notebook. It's more
Sorry,
like
I'm just being pedantic.
no, it's good. So you can kind of study things, and if you take them back to the cabin and really take them apart, you can get more notes on it. Basically, you know what the character knows. So as she studies these things, she'll write notes, and you can go, oh, okay, so that led to this effect or such. Maybe she tested on a rat or something.
Wow, so you have a lab back at your cabin.
Not really a
Caged
lab,
rats,
just
you know, like
CSI log cabin.
still working on the mechanics. Right now it's just a desk. But yeah. Let's see.
Is there a mushroom that's red with white spots that makes you go really, really big?
No, but there's a flower that makes you throw fireballs. And yeah.
Yay!
Oh shit!
Love
I want to find that flower.
Do you have any other Easter eggs squirreled away?
Easter eggs, not yet. We have been talking to some other like people that we find inspiration from, or other Kickstarters and stuff. We're looking at cross promotion. That's kind of something big people do these days. Mm-hmm. I might throw in some Easter eggs to other games and such, but right now I'm just focusing on making the core game itself. I haven't even thought about the extra stuff so much.
Sure.
A really good idea for an Easter egg in a survival game. You find an Easter egg.
Yeah, an actual Easter egg.
Never been done. Copyright that shit.
Yeah. So, another thing that we're doing, we're going to focus on Patreon over Kickstarter. Have you guys heard of Patreon?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
No.
Oh, have you not?
Okay.
No. You see,
So
I
a
don't
lot of
live on the
YouTube
internet.
people use it these days, don't they?
Yeah, it's mainly YouTube people. I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 game developers on there. It's definitely not Kickstarter yet.
Yeah.
But the thing with Kickstarter, and I've been watching Kickstarter for the last couple of years, and you've probably seen as like the years following Double Fine, you've seen a bunch of games fail, and it's not the best place. I mean, they're still making it. As you saw that Castlevania game that went up today, it's already at 110,000 or something. And then you got the people from Rare with Yooka-Laylee. They got 2.5 million so far.
Oh yeah, it was crazy ridiculous money.
Like they only stopped because they ran out of stretch goals, and they literally like tweeted out like, "We don't have any more stretch goals, guys. We don't know what to do." Like I think they were expecting like 200 pounds or something like that, and now they got 1.5 million.
Oh man, we need to get Grant back on the show and talk about this shit, man. We need to sort that out.
Yeah. So going back to so we were looking at Kickstarter, and like 65% of Kickstarter video games, like board games are fine. They do fine. You've released them in 4 or 5 months. Mm-hmm. But 65% of Kickstarter video games, they just failed it. They never make it. Mostly because there's a lot of people like me where we just start out, we don't really know what we're doing. We're going to screw up with the budget or something. Mm-hmm. But for people like, even Double Fine, they got tons of money, and then they ran out, and they had to borrow more money. They almost didn't make it. Mm-hmm. This whole rush of 30 days trying to get your goal, it's not really that realistic. So we're trying something new. We're trying Patreon instead. We're going to see if that works. We're getting it ready. It should be up in like a month or so.
How does it actually work then? Is it not like Kickstarter where you get money up front? It's kind of...
it's almost like a subscription, isn't it?
Yeah, so basically think of it like a subscription, like Mike said. And it's just your donations, instead of making like a $50 donation for a game, you'd make a $10 donation per month. And so you get charged every month, and for us, like, it adds up. We can keep track of how much you donated, and then you can exchange it for rewards later. But like a lot of YouTubers use it right now, and it's more so for people that are keeping you constantly updated. So like we're constantly releasing like behind the scenes type stuff, and we're just trying to build up steam, because like we didn't have like Rare, they already had 20 years of experience. We're kind of building up our history as we go. So so Patreon's just a way of giving us time to grow. And kind of the main reason why I wanted to focus on Patreon instead of Kickstarter is because I wanted to slowly build towards the core game. And then, oh, that's a nice view of Mike's back. Okay.
Henchback!
Yeah. Anyways, one of my main goals, and I'm not really putting it on the Patreon yet because I don't want to confuse people, but I want to slowly build this game up and focus on the world itself. So I want to build up this library of assets so we can make this game, then we can make it a little bit better, and then we can make the next game with those same assets and expand upon it and make just a different game. Maybe it won't be a survival, maybe it'll be an RPG or something. It'll probably be an RPG. But
RPGs are cool.
Definitely be an RPG.
That's what the name of the game should be. Definitely an RPG.
Yeah, definitely an RPG. That actually was originally what I set out to make, and then I just found out that those are hard to make on your own. So there's a lot of content for those games. So yeah, the plan is to build up this asset of library of assets and build up a fan base, and then kind of move on from one game to the next and keep people kind of like it's a subscription. You keep giving people games over time.
No, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Well, I like the whole idea of using. I'd never heard of Patreon being used for games because I'd only seen it from YouTube stuff. But I think that's a much more, like you say, 60% are failing. There is this whole thing of I've given money, like there's nothing from it sort of thing, and then other people are like that. You want to see the build. Like why it works on YouTube is because most of them say, well, you're going to get this content 5 days early. You're going to get, what's Google Hangouts sessions with us and all this kind of stuff. And it's definitely a really good idea. I think I'm surprised. I didn't know that people did it on games, so I think it could work that way. Like it makes.
Plus, it makes sense that you don't suddenly get this huge wad of up front, and you're like, oh my god, money, and then it all runs out really quick. A steady stream of income that you don't get crazy.
Yeah, and it works for the supporters because like I've supported over 20 something games on Kickstarter. I've seen one of them get finished, and it wasn't that great. it was not what was promised. So yeah, there's a downside to when you try to raise this imaginary budget. I mean, you have an idea for how much you want to make. Like you made 10% of the game, and you're like, oh well, it's just going to be 10 times this, and it's not. You run into issues and all sorts of things that pop up. So yeah, this whole building up the funding and giving people like time to go, okay, so it is something I can trust, and you just build it up over there.
Well, the other thing with Kickstarter is that like how many people have we had on that started with this idea and then it's nothing remotely like that at the end? It's a completely different game. But if you've got this Kickstarter, you kind of have to say like, yeah, we're going to have to do this. And when you don't want to do it anymore, it's like, well, let's just finish the project, because you can't really just evolve it to what it's become at that point.
Unless you're Godus, at which point you can, because screw the man.
Yeah.
I think it's screw men.
I think there's a similar issue with Steam Greenlight. We got a bunch of games on there that the developers probably weren't the best. There was this dinosaur game that went up there. Another survival. There's a bad list of survival games where the devs were just like, I don't want to work on it anymore. You guys gave us money at the beginning, and we're not getting as much now, so we're done.
Well, it wasn't even that. The guy that was originally doing it just took the money and ran. And the only reason they realized that something was up was that the sound guy, I think it was looking to go on a different project. And I just got really angry. And they just lost all their money because the main dude upped and ran with it all, which was nice of him.
What happens if they just up and run? Like nothing's ever released. Does it get reimbursed, or does it just...
No, that money's spent. They spent it, or he kept it. And like with Kickstarter and stuff, there's no legal agreement that I have to give, or not me, but we have to give you something as developers, which is
the difference a little messed between, up. Like if, well, I guess it's in one way it's a great idea to get money, but the same idea of like, well, a bank that happens, you're losing your house.
Yeah.
Like you've got an agreement.
Exactly. It's not really protecting the consumer at the moment, basically.
Yeah.
They are working on it. I think the money only goes through once it's funded. If it doesn't get funded, I think you can get your money back.
But there's a difference between the problem is the ones that do get funded and then get heavily funded and then actually how much of that money has actually been spent on the game. And like, you know, it's like what we were saying where they ask for a small amount, they get 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Is that going on the game? I'd be in a strip club every night. Like, woo, dollar bills.
I think they are trying to regulate it more, but it's going to take a while.
It's a different business. That's the thing. We've got this the changes these days that the internet has created so many different jobs and different ideas and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, there isn't any legal precedent for a lot of this. So look, I'm sure a lot of people, if I put $10 or £10 or 20 quid or whatever towards a game, I'm a bit annoyed. But if I put like 500 to 1,000 towards something and then nothing ever comes of it, that's fucked, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not great. And like he said, they're working on it, but there's only so much you can do. And honestly, even though Kickstarter is great and it works for a lot of people, and some people very well, as we saw with the ukulele and such, it's not really made for games. So we got to keep looking and try to find something that works better for game developers.
No, fair enough.
Indeed.
So I mean, with Out of the Storm at the moment, so kind of where you at in sort of development?
So like a lot of the program work itself is done. We got some of the core systems set up. The main thing that's lacking right now is the art. I mean, I still got some programming work to do. Me and this other guy are working on that. But the art itself is like 5% done. So right now it's not a pretty looking game at all. The ground's just flat white. It's not really snow or anything.
There you go. It's very snowy where it is.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're going to finish up the programming stuff. We're going to release sort of a tech demo just so people can get an idea for how the game is. Hopefully it doesn't turn a lot of people off just because it's ugly looking. But you got to prove that we're actually working on something. We don't.
I think a lot of people see past that at the early stage though, because
not necessarily.
We've looked at. Well, no, not everyone, but we've seen some stuff that we looked at originally, and I was like, okay, and then we see it where it's come to, and you're like, hold on, this looks completely different to what, you know, I even imagined it would, you know, the idea of it. And I mean, remember when Metal Gear Solid first came out? This is an example of how much we've come forward and stuff. Like, you'd run through the snow and there'd be footprints, and we'd all be really impressed that there was footprints in snow. And like now, it's, you know, it's a simple task of, you know, it gets built in layers. Like, look at XCOM Media, like the original thing we saw, to like where they've come and where they're going and stuff. Yeah. It changes.
There's still a massive stigma though out there that a good game has to have good graphics. You know, good graphics makes a good game. And, yeah,
console, yes, definitely. I think there's a massive stigma attached to, well, mainly 10 to 18-year-olds that are graphic based. And you know, I was reading a thing the other day about someone saying how gameplay is graphics, and I agreed in some ways, because the person was saying no, gameplay is what the game plays like. It's nothing to do with the graphics. And they said, well, actually, the immersion effect and all this stuff has something to do with it. And I was like, yeah, it does. But you know, we've seen some of the great games haven't been, you know, it doesn't have to be photorealistic. Fucking
no, not at all.
Some of the best games I've ever played. Theme Hospital was not the best looking game ever. Probably one of my favourite games of all time.
Well, I still remember playing Text Adventure. There's no graphics in that at all, but you can still get massively immersed in going north.
You've got like the crazy brain, like, I imagine it all. I used to do that with what are the, you know, like the book adventures. It's like turn to page 87 and what bit. Like, and I'd always cheat. I'd just be like, oh well, I'll jump to this bit, and then like carry on from there, and then die 3 pages later.
Yeah, I didn't really die. That was a test. I'm going to come back and I'm going to take the other.
I know which way to go this time.
Yeah, it turns out games are all about the gameplay. What do you know? Yeah, but the graphics help, and I think we've seen the whole like revival of these retro 2D games, and
sure.
I mean they have the place. I mean, I'm making a 2D game itself.
100%. 100% 2D games have got a massive place. Rogue Legacy, we played. That took over my life for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I haven't got that hooked on a game for ages. And did it look beautiful? No, it looks okay, but it was, you know, those kind of games, they do definitely have a place. And I think the mass market's not necessarily looking at that, but I think people are getting smarter, and like it's becoming more now. It's more available, especially like Steam. That I always used to get jealous because I'm not a PC gamer out of the lot, and I'd always get jealous that there was all these games that were never ever going to come on a console ever. Like it's not going to get released. There's not enough attention to it, and now even they're giving you them for free on PlayStation and Xbox and stuff. And yeah, a lot of them will never come, but there is definitely, Xbox Live Arcade started it, I'd say, on console, but now it's becoming this idea of, well, yeah, I'll pay £4 for a game like on a console to try that out. Whereas a lot of console games, if you look before, you would minimum spend, all right, a new game, but 40, 50 quid, and you might play it like some of them for 4 hours and just be like, yeah, I sod it, I don't want it anymore. And these games, you get the value for money, which you never got before on the console, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, speaking of consoles and that kind of thing, I mean, what are you kind of planning to release Out of the Storm on?
Yeah, so we're focusing on PC just simply because it's the easiest one to release on.
Of course.
We're developing with the mechanics having mobile intentions, but we may or may not release there. It all depends on how things go. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of mobile games, but at the same time, it's a huge market, and if we build up the audience and such that wants it, then it's an option. I heard someone mention Wii. Like
I was going to say, you say Wii. How big is your team right now?
Okay, so basically, I'm the full-time developer, designer guy behind it. So I'm the guy with the ideas, and then I try to make those ideas come to life. But I'm not an artist. I'm not a composer. So I have freelancers that work with me. I wouldn't say they're not full-time developers like I am, but they're committed people, and they're pretty good. So the team's about 6 or so people. Every now and then we might have a guest freelancer come on, but yeah, about 6 core people. We got a composer, we got 3 artists, and then we got a guy that helps me with programming, and we got me, and like I said, a couple guest artists every now and then.
How did you go about finding these people? Are they friends, colleagues that you work with at college, or just from a phone book?
No, the wonderful internet. Originally, I started out with friends. That didn't work out at all. A bunch of people that don't know what they're doing just doesn't work. So yeah, so I worked with it a bit. The friends left eventually. I kept going, and eventually I found like the artist on DeviantArt. Have you guys been on that site?
Yeah.
DeviantArt is a fantastic website that isn't at all suitable for looking at when you're at work.
No, not without that filter on. No, so most of the artists are through that site, and if not that site, it started out there and then led on to other places. The composer, he reached out to us. We've had so many composers reach out to you on Twitter. There's a lot of them. Yeah, but he sent us some of his tracks that he had done before. We took a listen, and we thought he fit pretty well. So that's how we got him. And then the programmer guy, I met him on a forum. So, yeah, we just worked on that.
Cool.
And that's about it.
Well, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
You mentioned you worked on stuff before. This is your first big boy grown-up project.
Yeah. This is the first, it's going to be serious and be a commercial release. The other things were I had ideas and I thought they were going to make it. But I was working a day job at the time. Right now, I'm not, and I was putting in what hours I could, so like 4 or 5 hours a night when I could on these games. And then, they were RPGs, and then I found out a year or 2 into it, I had learned some skills, but they weren't great games, and I wasn't going to be able to pull off anything amazing on my own like that. Mm-hmm. So I scaled back, and I got this team together for the survival game, and we decided to focus on that. And one of the reasons is one of the most expensive things to make is character animations. It costs like over $1,000 to make a character walk. So
wow, really?
Yeah, and because you gotta draw frame by frame of these characters moving, and if you do 8 frames, 8 directions, it adds up. So we focused on a game where you got one core character. We might add other characters later, but we can make a survival game with just one person. With an RPG, you can't do that with one person. So that would be a very what?
It's one person walking through a library, and everything RPG is based off books that you happen to read that don't animate in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't realize it was so expensive, because I know people that make games and they kind of use Unity, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I just dropped $10 in and got a bunch of sounds, and here's my game, and it looks pretty good and stuff." But it's not like they're sitting there going, "I need to remortgage my house in order to be able to make someone jump."
Yeah, no. Well, you can do. There's a lot of free assets, or not free assets out there. There's free assets too, but you can buy assets. But then 1,000 other people have that same asset making the game. And that's originally what I practiced with, was just those kind of assets. But going into this, and we wanted to release a commercial product that didn't look like everything else, we got artists working on custom stuff. So they got to draw it from scratch. It takes time. Yeah, and that's it.
Awesome.
All right.
Fair enough.
Oh, no. Going back to there was something we were talking about, games being updated and such. I think a lot of it has to do with the frequency of updates. There's a game called The Forest. Have you guys heard of it or played it?
Yeah, I really want to play it. It looks awesome.
No, I will say
that's what I thought too, and I don't want to shoot down anything you like, but I got that game day one. It's been 9 months or so since it came out. It's pretty much the same.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they update it, and they'll add graphics and basically things that break the game, and then they'll fix it in the next update, and they break some other stuff part. That's part of the game.
Yeah, but that's the joy of updates. One thing will work, and then something else will break that they weren't expecting.
Yeah, and that's fine. But they're releasing updates 0.01 at a time. So technically, there would be 100 updates, and at the rate they're doing it, it's going to take about 8 years to finish.
Damn.
Yeah, so
see, that game has so much potential though. From the videos and everything, it looked really interesting, and the way they had it was that it was the environment that was after you, and you had to basically run and hide in a corner like a scared little girl, which appeals for some reason.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and it's part of the inspiration with what we're doing. Maybe 2D is just faster to update than 3D is. I'm sure 3D just takes a lot more effort to pull off. But yeah, we're hoping to make something that is as enjoyable as that game was for me the first couple of weeks that I had it, but continues to be something that grows and gets better and better.
Awesome.
It can be hard to do that though sometimes. I mean, it sounds like from that aspect it's like they haven't fixed stuff that you'd expect to be fixed, but there's some games that once you lose that, once it gets tainted with I've done this, I've done that, probably not going to go back to it. Destiny's one for me. The update came out, I didn't go back to it. They're talking about the new one's going to be amazing. I probably won't go back to it. And if it'd be nice, DLC, I actually think people complain about DLC. I think it should come out quite quick, because there's a core level of people that, I spank games sometimes and I'll play them religiously, and then I won't go back. Yeah, exactly. I give them a bit of this, but then after that, I'm just bored.
The problem is that you've got. Sorry, you were going to say.
Oh no, I was just going to say people complain about Call of Duty and how they release their content throughout the year, but it keeps people going and keeping them in the game and stuff. And
they're doing pretty well with it. There's a lot of games that it will work with. There's some that it won't. There's only so much you can do. But if I was pissed off with Mortal Kombat because I bought the combat pack thinking I had 4 characters to play with straight away, and then spanked the Assassin's Creed. But then they released it, and I got it, and I got a couple of things, and they went, well, the character comes out in 4 weeks, and then the next one comes out in 4 weeks, and I was like, oh, why did I buy it? But now when that one's come out, I went, oh, well, I'm going to play with that. And I think a constant sort of source of, there's a lot of games that are single player, but once you've done them, why would you go back to them unless there's something different to actually play with?
The thing is there's a definite balance between keeping people entertained and interested in your product. Things like League of Legends, World of Tanks have got it absolutely nailed down.
100%.
That they've got, that is their one game. So there is constant stuff coming out all the time to keep people interested and active. The thing is, there's other games like your World of Warcraft and your massive games, that they're trying to speed it up so people can get stuff, because they'll try and devour content as quickly as possible, and then they'll kick their heels and get bored and move on to something else. But if they put too much content out, they will run out, because these sort of things, because they're such big games, require so much time and effort, and also they have to make sure that it works. So when it goes out, they have to make sure it's perfect, which, you know, will take a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever.
Yeah.
So if you get to the point where you're like more, they're putting out shitty little updates, which have got maybe 2 or 3 things, which just looks terrible. And again, that will also have the effect that people will just be like, well, you're just bringing out rubbish now, so I'm going to go look elsewhere. So.
Yeah, it all depends
I don't
on.
think. Sorry, you carry on.
No, you go right ahead.
I don't think when I say I don't think things like World of Warcraft or something that's got that much content is a problem, because there is so much content there already, and when an update comes out, it is a lot of content, and then they filter it. They don't, you know. I remember Burning Crusade, like Illidan didn't come out straight away, and it's not like they kind of filter it so that you've got some stuff to do, you work on that, and then it comes on. But there's other games like Watch Dogs is a prime example. What happens once you complete Watch Dogs? I didn't even complete Watch Dogs. I got to a certain point, I just got bored, and then 4 months later, they pull out this thing that's got a couple of extra bits and pieces, and I'm like, I'm not going to go back to it. There's no draw for me at all. There's other games, you know, I don't know, something like UFC, for example, when they started putting in other characters, yeah, I would think about going back, because I've never fought with that person. I might try it out. I might, you know, do this, that, and the other. You know, Blizzard do it very well with Hearthstone. Like, there's, you know, you're playing against, realistically, you're mainly playing ranked games. But then the other content comes out, and you have to build up your coin or buy it, and then you've got to build, you know, go through it. And it keeps you entertained. That's the difference. I think there's a lot of games where they've got, you know, they've got your attention, 100%. Your attention is there. Over time, that's going to wane and wane and wane. And once it goes below a certain dipping point, you're never ever going to go back to that game unless something completely radical comes out that completely changes the game mechanical.
Indeed. That's why I like single player games, that when you play it through a second time, that there's different things happen. Like, there's a lot of this procedurally generated games. This is a really popular thing right now, like the Diablos and everything, that every time you play, it's going to be different. Yes, the core is kind of the same, but it's going to be something new thrown at you that you may not have seen before. Or, for example, if you beat it, you can then unlock a slightly different mode that's slightly harder or whatever, or you different character, which is different abilities or things. So stuff that allows you to have replayability is always definitely a plus, which I'm like to see. And it's good to see that games are definitely moving that way.
Yeah, and as you were kind of suggesting earlier, I think it's kind of up to, like, is it right for the game, and is it right for that studio? Like, we could keep releasing content for this game after a while, as long as people are buying it. We could release the content for free, as long as it keeps people interested and more people are buying it. Like, if 1,000 people bought a game, we could definitely add some DLC and give it out for free, just because more people are buying it. The game's budget itself is about $4,000, so it's not going to be too difficult to cover the costs as long as people are interested.
Oh, fair enough. So, I mean, when are you thinking about getting Out of the Storm out? I mean, obviously, I know you're very, very early in development, but I mean, what's kind of your plan? I mean, when do you think you're going to be sort of close to being ready?
All right, so I've had enough time with, like I said, I spent 2 years working on small projects, so I have a good idea of, like, how you can build this scope of projects. I know that if we were fully funded today, it would take about 3 months to complete all the art. So I would say 3 months if we were funded, but it all depends on the funding and just how things go. Going along with that, though, there's all these like expectations that you say 3 months and then it ends up being 5 months. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure based on the time that I've spent with the artist and such that once we're going pretty well on the Patreon and everything, that it'll be 3 months. So I'm saying fall, just because I think it'll take all summer to get the Patreon going.
Oh, no, fair enough, man. Fair enough. And
Awesome.
where can we find all of your lovely stuff? So even your Patreon and everything like that, where can we find everything about Out of the Storm?
Yeah, so if you just go to the website, it's livingdreament.com, and then we got links to our Patreon, our Twitter, and everything there, so you can just click on it all there.
Ah, excellent, my man. Excellent. So I think we need to jump into some important questions, Mike.
Important questions. I've added one, by the way.
Oh,
We have a
oh
new one.
shit! There's a third. Okay,
Oh.
all right. I mean,
Well, the most important question that everyone gets thrown off by, if you haven't done your research, you might be thrown off by. What was the best thing you ate in the last 7 days?
Best thing I ate. Okay. Odd enough, I just tried ramen noodles for the first time, and that cheap stuff is strangely addicting.
It is strangely addictive.
I thought you said rum and noodles. And then I had to process it,
ramen
and then I
noodles.
was like, oh, ramen noodles.
That's far more addictive.
That was, yeah.
No,
I was like,
No, a game developer budget. I was on peanut butter sandwiches for a while, and then I got bored of that, so I tried ramen noodles. And yeah, the salt maybe? I don't know what it is, but those things are quite addictive.
yeah, I lived off them
Cheap
for
as
a
hell
month.
as well. Like I always look at stuff like that, and I'm like, how? I know there's not much to it, but you're just like, why am I spending this much on other food when I can live on nothing? Like
It makes you
20p.
worry. Makes you worry about it. I bought some packs for 19 cents. I'm pretty sure I mainly paid for the plastic, not the noodles. Yeah. So
The
how are they?
Carry on.
Yeah, how are they able to produce this product and ship it across all the way to you and sell it to you and make a profit at 19 cents?
It's all the mind games that they create. It's
One of
all like
life's
a
little mysteries.
Riddler effect. Like everyone's getting tainted by the Roman noodles, and then one day they're going to release the serum that you need this, otherwise you're going to die. And $400 a pop. All conspiracy.
Illuminati confirmed.
The second
So you
most
get it.
important question, though, is more important, really. What have you actually been playing for the last 7 days?
I bought a game called City Skylines the other day.
I
And that's,
really want to play that game.
Hey, doesn't Steam have like some borrow thing? Maybe I can send it to you. I don't know. Anyways, I was hesitant to buy it. I like these whole simulation games, but I bought SimCity in 2013.
Oh,
Have you bought that one?
No, I didn't, because I saw everything about it.
I didn't. I bought it day one.
Oh.
I mean, it was a great game. I still put 100 hours into it, but it was one of those games where like you put 20 or 30 hours into a city and then you just watch it die. Because it was broken. The traffic and stuff would just kill your city and just everyone burned to death. So yeah, City Skylines. They basically saw that game. They're like, okay, they screwed up because of this. We're just gonna make the game have the features that you guys asked for, and then they sold it for half the price, without charging for all the DLC and stuff that EA was charging for.
Wow.
And it's working out for them. Actually, there's a couple guys I saw that were working for Maxis that Maxis closed.
Yeah.
And now they're just working on props and stuff for City Skylines and just selling those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the
I'm
things.
watching a trailer for it. It does look pretty epic.
It's fun. I was watching. There's this thing where like you have this Twitter feed, but it's not called Twitter, but it's something like that. And this guy was complaining about how I was doing as a mayor. So when he was crossing a bridge one time, I demolished the dam above it and knocked him off and sent him down the river. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
That's
so
amazing.
tweet bad about
you
the
have
mayor.
so much power.
And, yeah, you can rename everything, so you could go and name some people after your friends or something, and yeah, it's just really customizable and it's pretty fun.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. No, I definitely really want to get that game. I mean, I've got a few friends that have sort of jumped on it, and they've been like, "Oh man, you need to buy this game," and I'm like, "No, it's gonna sap up so many hours of my life."
Definitely. Yeah, it's looking at the reviews and stuff. It's definitely being received very well.
It is indeed.
Yeah, well, like I said, they basically just went to all the SimCity players and they're like, "Hey, we made the thing that Maxis couldn't pull off, even though they had a bunch more people." This game was made by like 7 or 8 people, I think.
That's
So yeah,
nuts.
Love it when that
Just-
happens.
just some indie developers
nice.
with some support, and they pulled it off.
Nice, man. Nice.
All right, well, the third question. This is a new question.
I'm excited.
I've been
to hear
thinking this. I've been thinking this for ages, but we've heard about what the game is about and so on. But what's your elevator pitch? What's your 30 seconds? Sum it up. What is your game? Tell us.
All right, so that's a good point, and that's something I think a lot of indies should think of. They work on a game and then they end up with something they can't really market. Elevator pitch, I would say, well, if you played This War of Mine or Don't Starve, just take the struggle of This War of Mine and the viewpoint of Don't Starve, slam those together. That's kind of what this game's like. But basically, the game's not it's enjoyable, but it's not going to be a fun game. You're not going there to build your house in Minecraft. You're going to try to connect to this character and adapt and just try to get through these challenges that are thrown at you.
Love it.
There we go. Man.
Love it.
There we go.
All right,
Nice.
love it. I'm glad I'm the first one to answer the new question.
There we go. I like it.
You did well.
I like
I
it
shall
as
buy
well.
it.
I tell you, and Mike, man, we need
Take my
we need
money.
to get a timer for next time. That's a good shout on that one. We'll do it.
We
From
can
what
have
I've
the
been told-
countdown music in the
Yeah.
background.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah! But it's
No, you-
copyrighted. It's copyrighted
Fuck
to fuck,
you.
and I can't really.
No one
do
will buy it
but-
now. You ruined it.
But you want the Jeopardy music. The do.
Yeah, no, you got to keep it short. I've been told you got to have a 30-second elevator pitch, or anything
You
beyond
should.
that's too much.
Should like there's I remember someone coming for a job interview once, and before they were asking for a job, and he just said, "Let me give you a 30-second elevator pitch," and no one had ever bothered saying that before. And I went, "All right, go on then, do it," and they became one of our most successful people that I work with because they
Did you just say they can be one of the most sexist?
No,
they are very sexist.
I was
as
thinking
well.
sexy. That's what I thought he was going for
They-
there.
well,
that-
he's hot. Couldn't help myself, you know.
So that's why you hired him. Okay. I get it.
Damn it. CCTV when she bends over. Damn. No,
No, it's a good
it's important because I think a lot of the time, like, you know, as well, there's sometimes where I'm not going to name people, but they've come on and they've told me half an hour about their game, and I really don't understand what it's about. I just think, okay, cool.
Yeah. No, and it's a
Go on.
good point. And with a lot of indies going to sites like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and Patreon now, you got to be able to pitch to those people, especially with like the video intro. You got to get them sold because most of those people aren't going to scroll down and read.
No,
So.
yeah, well, it's become this idea of someone said to me at work, actually, they said, oh, I don't read books, and someone else said, well, how do you learn anything? And I'm like, well, because everything's video based, everything's, you know, I can pretty much just click on something and someone's going to tell me it, and I was like, well, yeah, in some sense, yeah, that's correct. Look, you're not going to learn certain things that way, but someone has a point of view on it. If you listen to someone articulate enough to tell you what it is, they're probably going to convey it more than, you know, just reading it off the page a lot of the time.
Anyway,
Definitely.
I
I
think we
agree.
need to jump into what games we've been playing now. So I mean, let's go with Dave first. I think let's go on,
David,
go on, Dave.
what you play?
What you been playing?
Okay. I bowed to the hype, and I've been promising that I was going to get it for so long now, and then I managed to acquire a secret code that gave me money off. So I was like, I've got no excuse. So I have been playing Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh
Yay!
shit!
Or should I say that I have been playing Skyrim, free to play. Yay!
Oh yeah, they did
Because
go
it
free to
is.
play lately, didn't they?
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
indeed. They did indeed. And I mean, like, the thing is that I did buy it, you know, originally, and was like, I don't think I ever paid for subscription though. But yeah, I did buy it, play it, and was just like, no, I'm alright. I think I only played it for about 6-7 hours, and I was just like, I can't be dealing with this.
Yeah, it was
I
an odd
picked it up
thing
when it
because-
was. Sorry.
No, you go right ahead.
I picked it up when it was beta, so I kind of jumped on it then because you know we had a beta weekend, and
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
thought
No,
I'm going to give it a
remember playing
go
then as well.
because I really like the Elder Scrolls series. I've been playing them since Daggerfall, which is the second one, I think. So I was like, I really want to go check this out because I like the way it looks, and I've played them all, and they're just fun. So I was playing it, and I was like, yep, it's exactly like Elder Scrolls. They've done exactly what they said on the tin, but there's just nothing here holding me to paying a subscription for it. There is no. There are other people around, but they could easily just be elaborate NPCs, you know. And it's like me and a couple of friends, we could go do a dungeon, but I'm more than happy just to run around and collect butterflies and hit small yappy monsters, you know. So there's nothing there that goes, take my money, I want to invest, which is kind of bad, I guess. So that's why I never went out and rushed out and bought it. I was already playing a bunch of other games as well, and so I was been waiting for them to go free to play, and it was kind of obvious that they were going to go free to play because effectively that's what the rest of the community was saying as well, is that you haven't got something here that can hold a subscription. So it went free to play, and I picked it up, and it's exactly like it is in beta, effectively. The music's amazing. The gameplay is really good, but yet there's still nothing that screams at you, this is the one game that you must now take over your entire life. Which...
Yeah, and it was an odd game to play because when I played Skyrim, the first thing I thought after running around destroying random stuff was, this would be great if I could play with some friends online. And then they pretty much delivered on that, and then I jumped in the beta and it was underwhelming. I didn't feel it was the same as Skyrim. Maybe I just don't like MMOs in general. But yeah, I felt like I wasn't this badass that I wasn't Skyrim. I'm just this guy doing random quests that I don't care for. So yeah.
The thing with the Elder Scrolls Online that I haven't kind of got into, but I know a friend of mine has and he really likes, is the new justice system that came along.
Yeah, I've heard about that, yeah.
He says, right, so this is paraphrasing what he's told me, so if I get this wrong, then blame him. The way it works is there's some shit in the world, like with all games going all the way back to Ultima Online. You can effectively go into people's houses, rifle through their drawers, pick up all their knives and forks and beg it. Some objects come up in red. If you break into those, then you get marked as a bad man, and you will get in the guards after you. You are a bad man.
MC.
But you also can get players after you, and they are your paragons of virtue and justice, and they will come down and fuck your shit up and kill you, and then they get prizes and awards. It's kind of like the PvP, but cops and robbers.
That's a great idea.
It's really cool. There are a multitude of achievements based on how much you can steal, how long you can keep your wanted status for. So it's almost like GTA in the sense that you go and pick up someone's, I don't know, petunias from their back garden. They call out us for the cops, and then you have some sort of Benny Hill thing going as you're sort of pegging it around an island, being chased by 6 other guys all trying to take you down. So it does sound really interesting, and I think that they've obviously tried to go for something different, and the feedback that I've had from it is that it's working, which is nice. And it's the sort of thing that you can get involved if you want to, or you don't have to. So it's nice that they aren't forcing you into it.
I suppose as long as you're good, you'll be all right.
Yeah. It sounds like,
if
a
you're
good idea. Like a bounty kind of system on people's heads. Like, look, the NPCs are stupid. They're not going to follow you to certain places. Apart from in Skyrim, because randomly you teleport to someone else and then you'd be like 4 miles away from anywhere, and then 15 archers would suddenly appear, and like, oh my god!
That sounds like
guards.
The guards in Skyrim were omnipresent. I swear. The first time I picked up Skyrim, I had done the intro where you get chased by the dragon and you run through the castle and you pick your side, and then I got into the village where you wake up and there's this chick hanging over you, and she's like, oh, you are the chosen one, go to the town because stuff's happening. So off I toddled to the town, and as I was going along, because I was part of the Rebel Alliance, I could see one of these dudes being heinously, mistreated by the local guards, been chained and stuff. So I thought, I'll save him. I will do be hero.
Don't
So
do
I
that.
took those guys out really easily, and then from the other side of the map, suddenly this guard goes, "Oh, hold on. I sense a disturbance. I shall take you
The
out with my yeah, with my magical arrow of seekingness that I can shoot you from 600 miles away and deadly accuracy." So I'm getting shot from God knows where, and then I can see him like pegging it across the field towards me, and I'm like, "Holy crap! I shall take him down." No, I'm dead. Reload. Try it again. Ready for you this time. Now I'm dead. And I was like, bollocks to this. I'll just leave that. Let that prisoner get on with it. You know.
I watched recently.
Damn
I'd
guards.
never seen it before. There's a Skyrim video where they use like all the mods, and like they make the video. And who's the dragon at the beginning?
I can't
I don't know.
remember.
The
Smaug?
big dragon or whatever. He's
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank Engine. He comes in like that. This video changed my life because they've got every mod turned on, like, and it is fucking hilarious. I really wish I had a PC to just turn all of that on because it looked so funny. Like all the guards are Ghostbusters at one point, and I was just like, "This is fucking brilliant."
Yeah, the mods have kept that game going for years
Yeah.
after it should have ended.
For sure, man. But I mean, to be fair, that community has always been great on that. You know, like there was support for Oblivion before, and like what was the others as well. And the thing is that I've seen like people try and bring back, you know, those old kind of places into the Skyrim universe as well, which is really fucking cool, man.
That's
well,
one of the
you'll be
games-
pleased to know that the mods are not going away for Elder Scrolls Online. You can drop mods into that as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you go when you first load up, there's a section that says mods.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
It's good to
yeah.
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
man. Anything else, man?
Yes, but more on that next week.
All right, okay, man. So, Mike, man, what's been going on?
Hearthstone,
Oh shit!
fucking Hearthstone,
Still on
On
that flex.
Hearthstone.
mate. Sick.
Have you tried the heroic mode yet?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I've done it. I've beaten the first. I've unlocked 3 of the Black Rock. Is it Black Rock? It is Black
yeah,
Rock.
Blackrock.
I've completed
Castle,
2
yes.
sets of heroic,
Mhm.
and then the third one I can't beat the last one on heroic.
Is that Rend?
I can't remember what his power is, but there was one of them that took me. I pretty much sold my soul to the devil because I was like, I've had enough now. I can't figure out how to beat this. Google, I build a deck like that, do I? Okay, built it, and I was like, I don't have any of these legendary characters that you need. But no, the best one was I played the first set, and there's one of the characters, his power as heroic is he summons 2 of his minions from his deck automatically, and you summon 1.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was playing, and as I said like the other week, all the people at work started playing, so they'd heard like I was taking this fucker on, and I was losing, but like a couple of them, and I got to like 4 of them were watching me, and Lore Master Cho came on his side. So it was like the whole point of the build I'd made was to freeze everything, and his power is whenever you cast a spell, the other person gets it. So I'm doing this, he's getting the spell, casting it back, and literally this was a half an hour, 45 minutes of Hearthstone of like constantly like, how do I? Oh, come on, and it was epic. It was like the most fun I've had in a game for 4 years probably. I really, really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
And I'm hooked. I'm close to. I didn't realise though you don't get a reward for beating heroic.
Yeah, you do.
What?
You get a special card back.
Can you do
Yeah.
it? Oh, the back. Oh yeah, if
Yeah.
you beat them all.
Yeah.
Like not each individual one. So I spent like 4 hours trying to beat the first 3, and then I was like,
Yep.
oh, I don't get any cards for this.
Have you beaten all
Why
the
did I
heroic in
bother?
Nax?
I've done Nax actually. Like
Yeah.
Nax is only there's no, I've completed heroic Nax.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I felt your pain at that point because there were some bosses in Nax that would just I was doing for hours and hours, and I had to look on Google and work out particular decks, and I was like, there must be a reward for this, surely. Oh, I have to do all of them, and I get a card back. Well,
Yay, good
yippee-doo.
time.
Saying that, the new bosses, the one that I like the most is the one that you're limited to 1 mana and everything costs 1.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds like quite an interesting match, actually.
That is really interesting. One of the most frustrating is that I had a really high cost dragon that I dropped out, Nyxia, and her battle cry is that she drops in and then you fill your side with 1/1 creatures. So on turn 1, I had a full board and I was like, yes, let's go. His turn 1 was destroy all creatures apart from 1, which was a little whelping. So I'm like, well, screw you. And that's pretty much how the game went. Every time I'd pulled out something amazing, he was just like, nope, that's gone.
One of them was one like when I didn't do it on heroic, the one where they call a character out of your deck. The first character that I got was Kel'Thuzad, so it was just like, okay, throw everyone out, let them die, like because he was just keeping them alive the whole time. And if anyone that doesn't know about Hearthstone, Kel'Thuzad, if a character dies and he's still alive at the end of the turn, they come back to life, which is pretty powerful. On like turn 2, you've got something like with 6-8 health, and like he's not going to die very quickly. Apart from that, what else have I played? I played Mortal Kombat some more. I went back to it because Jason came out. He is overpowered, like ridiculously.
Oh really?
He has a combo that can do like 50% damage.
Oh wow!
And people are hitting me with it regularly online, and it's fucking annoying. At least I'm not good enough to like. I usually play quite strategic. I play my first round is very okay. What's his pattern? Because most people have 2 or 3 sets of combos that they go to, so you can kind of learn the. All right, if I block up, down, or whatever, you can kind of work it so that then I can come back strong because he doesn't know what I'm going to do. This motherfucker's got fucking combos for days. It's ridiculous. But no, still enjoying it. Like it's been a while since I've played a beat 'em up that I kind of continued on after the storyline and like hype. Something that I didn't mention in the thing, but I played Friday night Project Cars.
Oh
so
shit!
we
No, I really want to play this game. I really do.
Don't bother.
No.
Don't bother.
Oh.
Perfect.
Why? What's the problem with it?
It's shit. It's fucking.
It's
not shit. That's
mean,
unfair.
Expand
we
on
downloaded
that.
it, right? we downloaded it. He was downloading it, and it did that annoying thing of you're this far into it, and then oh god, Dave's an evil Bond villain with a white cat now.
Yeah, right. He's got a pussy in his lap.
He downloaded it, and it was like 40%, so you could only do a race, which was one race in like Abu Dhabi with like all the best cars, sort of thing. So we were playing this, like everyone was smoking around me. I was having a few drinks and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is getting pretty boring. Career mode comes in. Cool. Do career mode. Forza's better already. Like the original Forza that came out, I was just like, I have no interest in this. And he literally, we spent 2 hours. All of us were playing together. And usually, when you get a load of you like working together, you kind of get into it. And everyone just went something on. So we ended up turning on TV, and Matrix was on. And then for 3 hours, I lost my soul to the Matrix.
That's fucking.
Everyone else,
I watched the Matrix
I'm not stoned.
At the weekend as well, and like, but it wasn't. I wasn't watching it on television. I just watched it normal, like on my computer.
It was amazing, but I was the only person that wasn't stoned, and they all were. So I'm like having a few drinks, a little bit active, talking a little bit, and they're all like, "Shut the fuck up, man."
So what you're saying is Matrix movie is better than Project Cars?
Far better. Morpheus on his own.
But I mean, like, the Project Cars game is meant to be a proper simulation kind of game. How is the actual racing in itself? I mean, like, on the sim.
It's Forza.
Okay.
It's Forza. It's Gran Turismo. It's the same. There's nothing special about it. They all didn't like driving. I kept saying you have to drive inside the cockpit, and there's a good view. You can see it, so you see part of the car and stuff. And they were all like, "No, I don't want to do that." So every time I did, I would do that, and I was just like, it's even got, if you have it on that made the green and red arrows and stuff like Forza has, and I was just like, this seems like Forza, and I'm not blown away by the graphics. So it didn't really like. I've spent 30, 40, 50 hours playing Forza. I don't really see what, it didn't draw me in at all. And look, there's going to be the people out there. We've said enough times there's no real next gen game for the PS4. And look, if you have a PS4, get it, because there's not been one before. Like, if you have an Xbox One, well, you've played Forza. It is just Forza, realistic. Didn't feel any different at all.
I mean, like, for PC players out there for Project Cars, I mean, they I know that they support I think it's up to 12K or something like that. It's ridiculous. It's sort of like, it's way over the 4K kind of region, which I'm just sort of like, I'd be quite interested to see on fucking.
Who has a screen better than 4K?
Yeah, no one does. But I'm just saying that they've got support
exist.
to it.
Oh yeah, fuck it.
But they can support it in some sense, which is crazy. So I mean, like, it would be nice to kind of try to see on how it could look on sort of good displays and stuff like that. I mean, how aesthetically
it looked nice. Don't get me wrong. It didn't look bad at all. Like, as I said, we spent probably half an hour doing the Abu Dhabi course, like changing the settings to be ridiculously hard, and you're in like the not Formula One, but like Le Mans style cars. And it was nice, and it was fun, and I love one of the things I miss about not having a PS4 now is the voice coming out of the controller, and all of the pit crew and stuff comes out the controller, and I was like, that's cool. Just didn't like. It's a £50 game or £40 game, and I just was like, well, an Xbox One, Forza's probably 20 quid, 15 quid these days, second hand. First hand, like, it didn't scream at me that there was anything that different, and it didn't look that much more next gen. But I was like, yeah, you have to have that. Sort of thing.
Fair play, man, fair play.
Then I played one other game.
Okay, yeah, go on.
I played DJ Hero.
That's such a random pick, but I love that game anyway.
About 20 hours.
What?
It's a great game.
How?
I got home at whatever time on a certain night with a couple of friends, and they saw my DJ Hero set, and I was like, "Fuck! I don't have my Xbox. It's my ex's. What's that Xbox?" And I was like, "Yeah, it doesn't really work. It kind of works sometimes." They went, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Okay, the open disc, like, it doesn't connect to the disc every time. I'll try. Let's see what happens." First time connected, I was like, "It's destiny, motherfucking destiny. Let's do this shit." So we spent 4 or 5 hours that night just loved it. It was so good. Like, I forgot how much, and like, it made me really excited for the new Guitar Hero and all this kind of stuff. Like, I forgot how addictive, like, that, because you're just trying to beat your best. You want to get perfect on everything. You just want to. It's like golf. You're not playing anyone else. Screw everyone else. You're trying to get your absolute perfect, perfect everything and so on. And yeah, it was really fun. I forgot how much I really loved it.
And the new Guitar Hero is made by the same people that made DJ Hero, so it's going to be interesting.
By the looks of things, they've got like the live crowd, or what they've said, like, it's the live crowd, and they're going to give you feedback. Like, you're in the first person, and they're giving you the feedback as you're playing it and so on. But they've said there's going to be 4 years of DLC for that game.
4 years.
An ex-presenter of ours spent quite a lot of money.
It's just songs. It's like they showed the music video mode. They just add music videos and you play along with the music video.
That's a sense of, I understand why that, as DLC, like, that is the game that makes the most sense for. Because unless you're an ex-presenter of ours and you spend £2,000 on them, at 99p or whatever, I'll buy a song. I'll buy a couple of songs. It's a night out. Like, people, the thing is with like that game, that is it brings you back to the local. Like, you can play that as a local. Like, even if you're playing one player, you can take turns and do different things and stuff. And it really, like, you don't have to be online. But like, I hardly ever played most of those games online because I didn't really care for who I'm playing against. Whereas if someone else in the team is shredding like a 97 combo, and you're just like, kick it. You get kind of excited for them because they're doing so well in it, and it was a lot of fun. And
definitely,
I forgot.
It's definitely a party game. I think I've been to a lot of barbecues or just general gatherings, and you're just like, right, that's it, time for the Guitar Hero or whatever, and it's just like
this was the thing afterwards. 3 of the people I was with had never played DJ Hero, but they all had a PS3 or they had an Xbox, and I said it won't be much to pick one up. CEX for DJ Hero is £3. And they were like, yeah, for £3, I've got at least 5 hours of fun out of that.
That's crazy.
Arguing. Like, those guitars used to be like £70 and like the DJ things and whatever. And like, just because it's a dead game or whatever, you could pick it up for nothing these days.
Yeah. And I think that's what the 4-year thing is a good idea, because why it died is because those games kept coming out, and you had to buy more equipment when it got replaced, and now you could just keep that one guitar and buy songs for it. So it's probably a better idea.
Well, that's one of the things I really like, that apparently for the new one, all the old guitars will work, and a lot of the old stuff, even that it wasn't built for Guitar Hero or whatever, is cross-platform, and they're going to be bringing an adapter so that if you have a wired one, you can put it into whatever console you want.
That's
so
cool.
for the cheap people out there, okay, I can buy the £100 guitar that's there, or I can buy the £2 one from the pawn shop down the road and get the adapter for 20 quid and done.
Yeah, indeed.
What about you, Leon? What have you been playing?
Well, I've got one game to talk about this week. It's a PlayStation Plus game. It's I was like, yeah, E for one, ever one. I think it's ever one.
Ever.
It did come out on the PC originally, but it's been ported over to PS4 like sort of fairly recently. In fact, I think it was in for the PlayStation Plus bundle in some sense. And I started playing the game. Basically, it kind of follows you're this member of staff of this company called what is it again? I think it's the EFA Institute of Telepathic Medicine. And
that rolls off the tongue easily.
Indeed. Hence why I had to go and quickly look at my notes and go, which one is that? Oh yeah, there it is. And basically, you're treating a patient with dementia. It's this sort of 69-year-old woman called Jean Thompson, and it's
great name.
It's a bit weird.
Wrong.
You're basically in some sense going in her mind, and you're like trying to patch together her memories in some sense. It's kind of weird. You kind of start in this sort of I'm just trying to think, sort of a kind of like a village kind of environment, if you know what I mean. There's no people about though, none at all. There's just sort of like trees, a few houses here and there. I think a little stream going through, that kind of thing. And you're just sort of collecting things to be able to kind of, solve puzzles and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of like old, like kind of point and click kind of games a little bit, which I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool.
So like Myst and things like
that. Yeah, that kind of thing, which was really cool. And you can only like hold one item at a time, but then you can kind of go back.
You only have 2 hands, yet it's one item.
But you can basically press triangle, and you can kind of go back to this kind of room, and you can put items down in that room, and then you can kind of go back to where you kind of left off. It's a bit weird. That's how their inventory kind of works in the game. But the problem is that I got to a certain point in the game and I couldn't really go any further because unfortunately the port was done really badly, and it is a buggy mess right now. So much so that I was trying to solve one puzzle in the game where I had to pick up this wire, put it sort of between these 2 wires, hit the power switch kind of thing. But I'd do that, I'd hit the power switch, and it would crash the game.
Amazing.
Yeah, so this happened 3 times, and I was just like, okay, so what am I going to do? So what I did, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I won't do it straight away. I'll go and do something else somehow, if you know what I mean, and come back kind of thing. Did that, worked fine, and I was like, fucking yes, fantastic. Continued a bit more into the game, right? And I was like, oh, you know what, I'm going to take a break now. And, I sort of like, I got off the game and everything. and I load my save game, and it instantly crashes the game.
Amazing.
So in short, I have to start again, and I've basically just gone, you know what? Nah, I'm all right. I'm just going to leave that one behind. It was quite interesting. I could see that, things were going to develop. It kind of sounded like maybe the Institute probably wasn't as kosher in some sense. It sounded like things were going to kick off, which was kind of cool. I was looking forward to seeing it. But
They were Jewish.
You know what I mean.
You said it was released along with the PlayStation Plus. You think maybe they just had that deadline, so they forced it out and it wasn't ready?
I think so. And I have seen other people kind of complaining about bugs and stuff like that. And apparently they are working on a patch. I think there should be a patch out today even. But Jesus Christ, man! That's it's destroyed it for me now. I'm just a bit like, maybe I'll go back to it at some point. It's a freebie. I've got it there in my bank. Maybe I'll go back to it at some point. But can I be asked to start again? No, not really.
Well, on bad ports, where I was on Friday, I was talking about Mortal Kombat, and my friend was like, "Oh, sod it! You know what? I'm going to get it for PC." And I went, "Whoa, hold on! I've had really bad things." He goes, it's 20 quid on PC. I'm not going to get it on PS4 where it's 45 quid. I'll get it on PC. It looks like a PlayStation 1 game. It's that bad. It is horrifically done. Like, I don't know how they can port it that way, but it just doesn't look the same. Like, YouTube it, PC like port, and it literally, the graphics, you're thinking, oh yeah, PC, it's going to smash it. It looks so bad. I was just like, I'm sorry, mate. And he stopped me. He was like, you warned me. It's my fucking fault. I'm sorry. Like,
terrible.
And did you hear about the patch that happened over the weekend with that game on PC?
Oh yeah, it didn't destroy save files or something.
Yeah.
Everyone's save got replaced with text files.
Ha! Whoops.
They were like, we didn't screw it up bad enough. We got to keep going.
Amazing.
That's what, like Mortal Kombat. They're like the like soul of Mortal Kombat was like PC. Finish him. I forgot a game I played this week.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh.
Okay. As a developer and programmer, Dakota, how do you deal with bugs?
They are annoying. I had one that I just dealt with for like 2 weeks where sometimes the lights would work and sometimes they wouldn't. I finally fixed the lights and then the furniture went under the floor.
That's brilliant.
Just random things affect each other.
Amazing.
I, this week, spent 3 hours with a friend playing this gem.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
Great game.
Oh, my God. I forgot how good that game was. And, like, afterwards, I've played Mortal Kombat since, and I was just like, this isn't as good as Soul Calibur 2. Like, it's nowhere near the same game. Like,
oh, that's Soul Calibur 4.
4's not the same.
No, it's not.
4's good.
It's not
2. 2 was like revolutionary. In fact,
two
was
awesome.
One was the classic.
One was the best.
2, I spent between me and a friend. Like, he used to come around almost every week, and we'd have drinks and stuff before we went out, and we'd spend 3 hours playing that game before we went out, and we did that for like 2 years. That game was solid. And
yeah, it was the adventure.
I didn't even realize I had a PS2 still in my house. Like, someone saw it. Like, I've got it on my desk thing, and when they came around, they went, "You must have a PS2." And I was like, "I don't." And my brother said, "Oh yeah, there's your old PS2's downstairs." So I plugged it in, got it all up and running, and like it just went like really weird to start, and I was like, "Oh, it's buggered." And then like we reset, tried again. 2-3 hours of, mate, I love that game.
Yeah.
It was the adventure mode. Was just hands down the by far.
That's where it changed it. It completely changed it. And I remember like all them, and that's something that Mortal Kombat does as well. Like, you can take on the towers and it gives you like all these weird modifiers. But like when you the adventure mode, and you'd have like that set task, but there's certain things like obviously your sword does this and that, but there'd be like weird tweaks on it, like they get health over time, and you're just like, I've got to beat him in like 10 seconds, otherwise I'm lost. And all.
Yeah.
Great game, love it.
No, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Right then. Well, I think we need to sort of, stop talking about the old games that we love, and maybe talk about some new games that hopefully we will love in the future. I mean, Dave, man, what's going on this week, my man?
Oh, we have many games this week. Many.
Indeed.
There are so many.
And I know that there's a game that's just come out, hasn't it? Today, I believe.
It is today. That is a game that's dear to all our hearts that we have. Have we had them on the show?
Yes,
I believe we have.
Had them. Yeah, we had the lovely Rage Squid. The lovely Rage Squid on the show. We did indeed.
They're going for the PC and the Mac out today or 2 days ago when you're listening to this. Action Hank.
Oh,
I'm so gutted that I don't have a PC to play that on right now, because that game, like just that one level. No. Do you remember how obsessed I got over that?
Yeah, no, I remember.
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, man. No, it's a really.
If you haven't heard about it, we'll insert what podcast it was.
Oh yeah, well I'll put something up. Yeah.
Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Definitely go get that.
We could do like a Wayne's World, like.
And I'm going to get it just so I can learn how to butt slam properly, because I was terrible at that game.
Oh yeah, you were.
You were really bad. Yeah. Really
very,
bad.
Very bad.
Well, Dave, you need to press down. No, but that doesn't work. Well, I've done it 100 times. It does work.
So what else have we got coming this week anyway, Dave?
Okay, so that's today, or Monday. Tuesday. The first of the Final Fantasies of the week, Final Fantasy IV, The After Years, which sounds like some really bad US sitcom. It's like that.
Yeah,
that has been.
I mean, I'm probably going to suck it up anyway, because I'm basically just a whore for anything Final Fantasy. So that's going to happen.
It's already been out.
It's
been out a few years now. In fact, you can get it on the PlayStation, the Final Fantasy IV, the Complete Collection, which is the After Years and the other one, because there's episodics. But it's the first time it's come out on the PC, so you can now pick it up on Steam.
Yeah, which is always nice. I like to have it on Steam, because I kind of see that Steam's going to be sticking around for a bit.
Also, tomorrow, it's from Tasharan Entertainment, Winward.
Winward.
I don't know if you know anything about this.
Windward,
yes.
Isn't it?
Windward.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's like a shaman totem.
It's
it reminds
piracy
me of that pirate
meets Diablo.
I remember that pirate game on the God, what was it? Was it on PS1?
Sid Meier's Pirate.
No, there was one on like PS1. I think it was really like basic. It was kind of like a cart. Well, I say cartoon. It was still 3D. Fuck! I'll come back to you on that one.
Okay, you do that.
I remember the old
That's
Xbox
my line.
one.
Normally, I'm the one saying things like that.
Overboard.
Yeah, this is
Overboard is the name of the game. Anyone ever play it?
But this is Sid Meier's Pirates meets Diablo. You effectively will have 3 styles of pirate ship. You can be the boisterous, all out there destructor, aggressor. You can be the sort of tank, solid defender type, or you can be the nippy, drop poison clouds support type. Which, from the video that I saw, they're going with shoot cannons at your friends to heal them.
Okay.
What about the kind of pirate that just sits behind a keyboard and downloads loads of shit?
Yeah. But yeah, so no, it does look really good. It's also procedurally generated, so the maps are never going to be the same.
That's cool.
Love that.
It's game evolves over time. So as you start out, you start with a tiny little village and maybe a couple of dudes, bad dudes that you go and kill. And the more that you kill and do trade, so it's like Elite almost.
Yeah.
That you start off with a small ship, do a bunch of trading to get a bigger ship and bigger ship. But as you get bigger and bigger and badder, you build up the town. So it's like a village to a town. But then more pirates come and try and steal your booty, and then you go out and explore further.
And Beyonce's like,
Nuh-uh, you're not going to get my booty. But it's cool in the sense that it's single player, but then you can drop it into multiplayer. So if you're having trouble, then your mates can come along, and then you can also. Sorry.
What I heard from the multiplayer was that like you guys each start in your corners, and then like you work your way to the center of the map. So like there's like these sections.
Mm-hmm.
So you're either fighting pirates or you're fighting players based on like where you go, and you guys kind of kill each other at the center.
And they've been really clever with the AI in that the AI works the same way that you do. That if they can't see you, they don't know where you are, which is a nice touch. So you're not just going to have this AI come straight at you from nowhere. And where's it? Bye then.
It's so funny the way like the camera follows as well.
It's like, where are you going?
Come back. I miss you already.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so that's out tomorrow or Tuesday.
Okay.
For PC.
What else we got, bro?
Who here had a Nokia?
Yes, I did. Yeah, back in the day, 3210, I think. Probably had one of those.
The old 3210.
Yeah.
What game did you have on that phone?
Snake.
Yeah. How much did that take up of your life?
Yeah, a lot. Definitely a lot.
On the 14th of this month, there is a game called Snake Rewind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's the same dude that made Snake that has decided to re-release Snake as Snake, but with shiny bits. So it's a retro look at Snake called Snake Rewind.
Fair enough.
So once again, you will be able to download this onto your mobile. It's coming across Android and iOS, and you can basically never do anything ever again. But the videos look amazing, and there's loads of different mini games. So there's like the basic Snake, which is the collect dots, grow longer, die. Then there's the draw patterns that you have to match the patterns on the screen.
Okay.
Then there's the collect mushrooms and various fruits that do crazy power-up shit. And then there's also the one with the can you get to fill the entire screen with the snake and something good can happen stuff. So it's kind of like what they did with Tetris. That there was the basic Tetris, and then they just went nuts with as many different modes as possible. But now you can do it with Snake.
This is Snake.
Yes, Snake Rewind. Yeah. I mean, what?
Probably the best game ever made.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Nokia 3210.
Yeah.
Snake.
Yep. Oh, that reference already made. Anyway, so
welcome back.
Right.
And if you're not playing Snake, on the 14th of May, you can also play Knights of Pen and Paper 2, which is, shockingly enough, the sequel to Knights of Pen and Paper.
Shit!
I know, huh?
You know what's really worrying? When you haven't heard of the first one, the second one might not be that good.
I don't know, it could be though. You can't just sort of shit on it. Because I mean, like Mass Effect, I hated, but I loved Mass Effect 2, so and 3.
Have you heard of the first one?
Yeah, I'd played it and I thought it was terrible, and then I played the second one. Was like, yeah.
Right.
I've actually heard of the first one of Knights and Pen and Paper. It's for PC, Android, iPad, iPhone, so all of them. The first one was also mobile based, and it's kind of like get your mates around to do some tabletop D&D, but then throw some zany comedy shit in at the same time. So it's not serious, but it's kind of kooky. The sort of feedback from the first game was it's a nice idea, but it sort of falls short in a couple of places, and it was a little bit too expensive. So hopefully the sequel will have improved on that. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Okay, man. Well, no, I have to check that one out.
I will have a play and then get back. But the website looks really good.
Okay.
But speaking of amazing websites,
oh yeah,
Here we go.
on the 15th of May is a game that doesn't look that great. However, the intro video for it has got to be hands down one of the best advertised videos that I've ever seen. This thing is a song and dance, and they've got like the words with the little ball bouncing along, so you can sing along as well. It's called Agents of Steam. Sorry, codename Steam.
okay.
And the world is once again being attacked by multitude of alien robots, and it's up to you, who've been tasked by Abraham Lincoln, to go and shoot them down with your steam-powered guns. And it's 3DS, so there's lots and lots of 3D shootiness, but the song and the way they put it together is just hilarious.
Oh, nice.
It's so if you don't get the game, at least go watch the trailer.
Okay.
Because it's awesome. And also on the 15th of May, more Final Fantasy goodness in the shape of Final Fantasy X
Again.
and Final Fantasy X-2
Again.
HD stuff for the PS4, because you haven't got them on all the other platforms.
I've got it on Vita already. I'm alright. I'm not going to pick it up on PS4. But then, to be fair,
it's going to be even shinier.
It's the HD version of the HD game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's like the Star Wars. They're just going to keep remaking it and keep adding bits and keep chopping bits, and it's just going to be the same game. But it's Final Fantasy X.
Call it the Star Wars again, please. That just sounds completely wrong.
I said like Star Wars. There was no the.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Corrected.
We'll roll that back on the replay.
Okay, yeah,
we'll just check that.
All right.
And then I'll look like the prick because I'm probably the drunk one that didn't hear it right.
But it's Final Fantasy X. If you haven't played Final Fantasy X and you've got a PS4, get it.
Do it, yeah, man. Do it. And fucking...
Which one's 10?
With Tidus, Blitzball.
And a bad laugh.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Blitzball, yeah.
Other than that, the game's good.
Yeah.
And then get Final Fantasy X-2 to realise just how badly you can screw up a game.
I don't know, like, there is some things I do like about that game, but overall I hate that game. I really do. But
the first two words in the title, because you like all Final Fantasies.
Yeah, I know. I'm such a fucking sucker for those games. It's unbelievable.
They should not make sequels because they did the same thing with 13 repeatedly, and it's just bad.
Yeah.
Just make another game.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to 15.
So that's our releases for this week. Effectively, lots and lots of Final Fantasy and lots of mobile games. And Snake. Get it just for Snake.
Yeah.
Everything else this week, get Snake.
Well, that's cool, man. Well,
Snake.
To be fair, we're running over a bit, so I'm gonna have to say we're gonna have to drop the news for this week, guys. Can
I just say one thing in the news that really?
All right, we'll quickly do it.
It was the green light, because we were talking about green light earlier.
Yeah.
And the whole sort of keeping a close tab on things and was it moderating stuff. So effectively, there's still a long way to go, because there was a LA-based developer who decided to make a game which was all about killing gay people. And I think it managed to get up on Greenlight for like 2 hours before it got taken down, and it just caused massive furor backlash. And it was just, we can put a link out to it. I'm sure other people. Have you not actually heard this story at all?
No, I did hear about it. Yeah.
They want equal rights, right? So if I kill a non-gay person, that's fine. But if I kill a gay person, that's not right. That's just...
Yeah, no. But if you're killing solely gay
I'm only
people...
joking. I'm not condoning this game in one sense. No, but
I think it's just genocide in general. It's not a good idea for a game.
Completely agree with
No.
What was the last game that was like that? It was Rage or something that got taken down. That black and white shoot all the school kids kind of game.
Oh yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, no, I do remember. Fuck, what was it called? Yeah, I think it was Rage or something like that, wasn't it?
But yeah, it's effectively throwing the whole Greenlight program into chaos, and a lot of people are adjusting the look on Greenlight and saying that Valve should have better standards in place to stop things like this happening. And they turn around and say, well, that's what Greenlight's all about.
They tried. Like, it's 2 hours. Like, people get outraged about certain stuff. Like, they're not the ones at fault here, are they? Really? It's the people that created this game. Blame them. Don't blame the people that got them down in 2 hours. In 2 hours, I probably wouldn't even realise Leon had had a haircut. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't notice.
That's what the flag's for, the whole flag button. You just click that, and then you've done your job, and they'll notice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Indeed.
There was one piece of news that it came out today, and I just want to quickly say it.
Yeah, go on, man. Go on.
Because the person that put up that they did the Fallout 4 intro on their, what's it called, LinkedIn.
That's right.
Please say it's true. That's all I want.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of rumours that have gone about. There's rumours that it's going to come out at the E3 is going to be where it's going to get announced.
That's the ongoing one, but this is the one that kind of like is like It could actually be true this year.
Oh yeah, no, I think it is, because that kind of like the fact that someone putting it on their LinkedIn profile to say that they've worked on the trailer for it. I think that kind of confirms that there's a trailer coming very soon.
What's a fucking idiot?
But yeah. We do need to just quickly address that. We've got a charity stream coming up this weekend, actually. That's right. We're going to be doing a stream for Cancer Research UK. It's along with a lot of other streamers that are going to be streaming over the weekend. We are literally going to be finishing off the stream between 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock this Sunday. Sunday, is that the 17th, I believe? Yes.
17th, yeah.
Yep, Sunday the 17th. So I haven't actually got a link to where we're going to be streaming yet. I assume it's probably going to be someone else's other than our one, but we will announce on Twitter very soon in regards to what that's going to be. But yeah, no, come and join us. We're going to do a podcast. We're going to play a few games as well. Yeah, we're going to be up for 4 hours, so come and join us. Get your wallets out, to throw some money towards Cancer Research UK, and let's have some fun, I think.
Indeed. Absolutely.
Awesome. I'll grab the link when you have it out.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be out soon. I will be.
Is it not the link in the document, which is justgiving.com/Twitch charity?
That is, if you want to donate now, you can right now. That is the link for it. We will put it up on the screen so that you can go ahead and throw some money their way. But yeah, we will be streaming at the weekend. Hopefully, it will be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
I'm looking forward to it too.
We've got XCal Media coming to join us and help out with some stuff as well. Martin is graciously
just
offered
Martin,
us his
or is
services.
anyone else coming?
I'm not sure on that level. I know Martin has offered his services, but hopefully everyone else will come and join in as well. I'm hoping to maybe get some Killer Instinct or maybe some Mortal Kombat going on Xbox One. We'll see what happens. So yeah, probably throw out
some Martin and Mike
yeah
versus.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Play some UFC. Let's play some UFC.
So, but yeah, I mean,
won't lose that one.
Let us know during the week if there's any games in particular you want us to play. We're gonna have hopefully, get a few games out there in our time slot. So yeah, we'll see what happens in regards to that. But yeah, I think we should wrap this baby up. How about that, guys?
It was a pleasure, guys. It was nice meeting you.
Oh, honestly, Dakota,
awesome.
It was absolutely awesome having you on the show, my man. Once we, there's more, about the game, Out of the Storm, do let us know. I would love to have you back on the show to talk about it again.
Yeah, I'll be sure to let you guys know when it's further along.
Excellent.
You guys take care.
Yeah, you too, man.
I do.
So yeah, if you'd like to take part in this conversation, you can either post on our Facebook wall at facebook.com/GameOverYear.
You can tweet us at GoOverYear.
Email us at gameoveryear.net/contact us.
No, it's contact us at gameoveryear.net.
I don't know why I just said it that way.
Yeah, it's like you forgot how emails worked for a second there.
Literally, it was like, hold on. As soon as I said it, I was like, it's not a website. Contact us at gameoveryear.net. And if you want to get real personal, stagbeal at gameoveryear.net.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. I'd have to make it. But
at Dave at gameoveryear.net works.
That's it. And
like Leon and Dave at gameoveryear.net.
That's right. And obviously, you can find all of these lovely links at our website, which is gameoveryear.net. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, Game over, yeah.